I don't know what's in the air these days, but ever since Nintendo announced that they're going to be releasing a new Zelda game, Breath of the Wild sequel, whatever it's called, Tears of a Kingdom, ever since they announced this game, the Nintendo ninjas at Nintendo HQ have been going completely wild. They've been unfiltered and they've been ready to take down everything around them. If you guys don't know, the Nintendo Ninjas is a secret crew, a group of people within the Nintendo HQ who destroys anything and everything in their place. Think of like the FBI for the United States or the KBJ, Korean blowjob? KGB, okay? Imagine them. That's what Nintendo has. That's the Nintendo Ninjas. They have one of the corporations where they make some of the best products, but it's run by some of the worst people, some of the oldest boomers that you can think of, and they have some of the most traditional mindsets of all time, okay? But guys, there's an article that's floating around here that I kid you not, I cannot believe is actually true and real, okay? I have never seen Nintendo ever do something so petty in my entire life, and yet I am here for it because we get to talk about it. Oh, and behold, one of the hardest and coldest titles I've seen to a news article related to Nintendo. Nintendo hacker will be punished for the rest of his life. Somebody at Nintendo gave a person a life sentence. Gary Bowser is being released from prison for good behavior, but he'll still be paying for his crime. Now, if you guys just stumbled upon this topic, you have no idea what's going on, who Gary Bowser is, and why this guy named Gary Bowser actually has the name Bowser in his last name. Is he affiliated with the actual Bowser? No. It just so happens that one of the biggest crime lords of Nintendo just happens to coincidentally have the last name Bowser in his last name. It's like, it seems like it would be like the plot of a movie, but it's just not. That's just how it works. Quick TLDR, but Gary Bowser is a hacker from Canada. He used to be a part of a group called Team Executor. This group was best known for selling mod chips and other tools that helped gamers jailbreak and hack into their devices. Unfortunately for Team Executor, Nintendo was not at all happy with their business. And the way it worked is if you availed any of the tools from Bowser and Team Executor, you can hack into your consoles. Among the devices you can hack are Nintendo Switch, 3DS, Classic Edition, and other Nintendo devices. And then once you hack into the consoles, you can then download a pirated version of your preferred game. Then you can play it on the console. So this guy out here teaching everybody how to break their systems so that they can download and hack games onto their systems for free. And then he would make it so that everyone can do it. It would be a service that he would charge money for, and he would make tens of thousands of dollars modding and hacking people's equipment so they can steal Nintendo's IP. Continually, apparently when they arrested this dude, he got charged with 11 felony counts, among them being conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering, and trafficking circumvention design. Not only was he like basically taking advantage of Nintendo, but he was taking advantage of other people as well and using the money in order to do terrible things. Like he was just a bad guy. Anyway, getting back to the meat and bones of the article, let's just read it. In the February 22, Gary Bowser, a member of the hacking operation Team Executor, a longtime target of Nintendo's lawyers, was sentenced to 40 months in prison for his part in helping run a business that reportedly earned him over $300,000. That's it. That's chump change compared to what Nintendo makes. But he made $300,000 running it. Not bad, not bad. Thanks to a combination of time already served and good behavior while in prison, however, Bowser is about to be released and sent home to Canada. On the eve of his departure, he's currently waiting transport to Toronto with a new passport. Bowser sat down for an interview with Nick Moses 05, thanks to Torrent Free, to discuss the events surrounding his imprisonment and impending freedom. So we finally get to look at Bowser for the first time, and it's this guy in the orange jumpsuit? This is Bowser? As much as I like to play this video, for some reason it sounds like they're in an echo chamber of some type of tunnel somewhere. Like,
so long, so it's good to see you in high spirits, man. Always been able to handle myself good, no matter the situation.
I can't hear a thing. Okay, maybe you guys can hear something. I can't hear a thing, but this is Bowser, this guy right here. While Bowser was convicted, served time in prison, and is about to be released, his punishment isn't over. In fact, he'll be paying for his crimes for the rest of his life because the damages he was ordered to pay Nintendo at the time of his sentencing, a total of $10 million, Bowser says an additional 4.5 million won't have to be paid back since he'll be in Canada, not in the US, are so astronomical that he'll likely never be able to make good on them. Nintendo said, look, you know what your punishment is going to be? You're going to have to owe us a certain amount of money that you will never actually be able to earn for the rest of your life. Ain't no way this guy who looks like he's already in his 40s or 50s or whatever is going to be able to pay 10 million freaking dollars after coming out of jail for felony charges. Is not happening. Now here's the kick in the freaking nuts. All right. Bowser says Nintendo can take 25 to 30% of his monthly gross income for the rest of his working life. They began the process while he was still in prison, like many American inmates. Bowser was able to work jobs for what essentially spare change while behind bars, and over the course of the time at the SeaTac Federal Detention Center in Washington, he was able to pay back $25 a month, adding up to a total of $775. This is like he forever now has to pay a Nintendo tax. Whatever amount of money that he makes after paying it to the IRS, he then has a permanent Nintendo tax added to his name for every transaction. Everything that is earned is now taxed by Nintendo. And I've never seen anything like that ever happen when it comes to Nintendo. The article finishes and says Bowser was one of the 2 men arrested in connection with Team Executor. While commonly referred to as a hacker, and media reports he actually confessed to being the company's salesman and reportedly made $320,000 over 7 years of work. Over 7 years of work. That's 300,000 divided by 7. That's about 35. So that's about 6. That's about 60,000 a year, if maybe 55,000 a year. The other French citizen, Max Lauren, allegedly the leader of the operation, has managed so far to avoid deportation to the U.S. to face charges, though it's believed he helped the company make millions over the course of its operation. Dang! So you're trying to tell me that this guy was the Fallout guy? That there's an actual secret, like, shadow leader who hasn't been caught and made millions over the entire course of it? I didn't even know the operation was that huge. The long and short of it is that the Nintendo ninjas grabbed this guy and made an example out of him and made sure that nobody would follow down his footsteps by applying the permanent Nintendo tax on this man for the rest of his life. There's no way ever until he dies, unless he hits the lottery, he will not be able to pay this money amount. In fact, if he hits the lottery, he has to hit a lottery that's so high that after getting his cut from the IRS and getting cut in half or whatever, that he still has to pay at least 10 to 15 million dollars Nintendo just to no longer be in debt. So this is it's like a shackle. It's a permanent shame of death. You literally got the end marked on your forehead. Nintendo decided to make an example out of this person. And guys, I don't know 100% how to feel about that. I feel like when you have to spend the rest of your life in eternal servitude to a multi-billion-dollar industry as one person, I feel like this man's getting slighted a little bit. I feel like this is just like slavery, modern day slavery, because this man's life is ruined forever because he decided to stream and hack some freaking Nintendo games. Like that's how bad it is. My favorite. You can always pirate Nintendo games. It's always morally correct. One of the first tweets I see about it says, not to defend Nintendo, but Nintendo has a history of never falling through with any conviction if the crime never directly harms anybody but themselves. But this guy used his modding software to harm people with ransomware. So it's one thing to just take directly from Nintendo. It's another thing for you to be hurting other people and other Nintendo fans with your ransomware. Nintendo said, and I took that personally. This person here said, honestly, Nintendo consistently tops most evil corporation in video games. It's just easy to forget because the developers make actually good games. It's a catch-22, right? Because it's like, you might hate Nintendo. People in the Smash community, entire world hate how Nintendo runs, hate their business decisions, hate that they don't want to make money by making just good games, and yet everybody in the freaking world in a couple of weeks is going to buy Zelda Tears of a Kingdom for $69.99. On one hand, everybody hates Nintendo. On the other hand, everybody is going to give Nintendo all of their money. Like, it is what it is. This is the last one. This one's really popular, 23,000 likes. Said, y'all, Nintendo did not get this throw in prison because he modded a few Switches. He was actively profiting off of modded systems, laundered money, and purposely gave people malware with a ransom. Hey guys, that's Nintendo basically handing over one of the biggest L's I've ever seen in the history of L's to a guy named Gary Bowser by a company run by a guy named Doug Bowser. It's. I think we are in a matrix. This feels like one of those situations we are in a simulation. But yeah, I don't know how it's going to pan out for this guy. There's no way that he can pay for it. It's over. You think Nintendo's being too harsh? It's nonsense that this company that you hate is also this company that you love. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about the subject. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.